What was your goal in making this movie?
Well, it's always about the people. I want to get closer to people, even though you don't have a lot of time with 4 characters, each about 15 minutes or something, you know. So my biggest aim always is to get close in a short amount of time. And besides that, it is really, yeah, my wish as a filmmaker to make something which is more than just dry information. Of course, image is also information, you know, but I try to kind of kick out interviews and voiceovers and things which are very journalistic approach. I think we get so much of that sometimes you just shut off, you know, you just don't want to hear that anymore. So if in the end it helps people to understand what is going on ecologically, I'm very glad, you know, but I think people will understand better if they have a personal feeling with the people in the middle of this problem, because I could have shown, like, there's no dirty factories almost in this film. Yeah, a little bit, you know, but you could film only like smoke stacks and everything, you know, but we know those images. So I think those turn you off, and then you already know, okay, that kind of story, you know, and yeah.
Okay. And actually, speaking of the people that you interviewed in your movies, in your films, they were mostly women activists. Yeah. Do you think there's a reason for that?
Well, I thought about that too. I think it's a bit of a coincidence, though. But you see a lot of strong women, especially on the countryside, you know, who are, yeah, toiling the land. The men are, you know, leaving the countryside and work in the cities as constructors, and, you know, but the women, they have to a lot of times they just stay home and you know, as 2 people in this film actually said, you know, their husbands were illiterate, so they really used the women to do the work. But in the end, I think, yeah, don't get misled by the fact that there's more women here than men in the film, because it's not a very emancipated country, China, you know, even though they claim so, but it very much still sticks to kind of traditional idea about, you know, what the man does and what a woman does. But I'm quite happy that there are actually 3 women, because they're so strong and quite funny also, you know.
And did you have any difficulties filming? Like, did you encounter any trouble, just getting these images from China, in China?
Well, that is always the biggest challenge, you know, if you want to film in China or work in China as a journalist or as a filmmaker. How do you get rid of the minders, you know, the people who go with you everywhere, which makes it really impossible for the people you talk to, you want to film to really react freely. And so you always have to play according to the rules. And yeah, I've been a long time in China, I know how to do that, you know, so you have to have some kind of excuse for being there, and then, you know, then you can kind of freely try to arrange the rest. That said, I have to say that actually I had expected much more problems with these people. So the whole idea of these people being kind of characters, have been in the news, in the national news, that gives them a certain kind of protection locally, you know. So the local government doesn't dare to be too harsh, because they're afraid that will get into the national news, you know. So in that sense, they were relatively protected.
Yeah, what are your projects in the future? What do you plan to do?
Well, I just finished a project about the Chinese economy, the Chinese economical bubble. So try to answer the question, you know, is there a bubble in the making or not? The answer is no. I mean, there is a bubble, it will explode, but it won't do a lot, because China is so huge. There's such a huge, how to say, backcountry, such a huge market, that it will be able to kind of, you know, absorb this problem. But Monday, tomorrow, I will start the edit of a new film which I shot in Mongolia, and it's a completely different subject. It's about